What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. I'm Nathan Holloway, and with me, Joe Josh.
What's up?
This is going to be a very basketball-heavy segment today. Very basketball-heavy episode. So, if you don't like the NBA, probably might as well just turn it off right now. We're going to start on the NFL, where the Dolphins put Jalen Ramsey on the trade block. Where do you want to see the former star, I wouldn't call him star corner anymore. Where do you want to see him go?
I don't really care.
Just name a team.
Vikings.
It's always the Vikings.
Yeah.
I see him go to the Bills. Travis Hunter said that he would quit football if he cannot play both ways in the NFL.
Well, you better quit then.
Every team that he's talked to has been okay with him playing both ways. I'm going to tell you he's going to rethink this after, he plays one game.
Yeah.
On both ways, because I don't think it's possible. If he does it, cool, but
it won't last long.
No.
And if he does, he won't have a long career.
Yeah. It also won't last long in a season because you're gonna get tired after the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Man.
So if I'm a team, I'm not drafting him.
Yeah. Well, he's still projected to go second overall, so which I think is too high. Anyway. I don't think he's that good of a player, to be honest. Mark Andrews' future is up in the air with the Ravens. Where do you want to see him go? Since they're clearly moving from him and Melvin to Isaiah Likely. Basically every team in the NFL besides, the Chiefs.
Bills would be a good fit.
They have Kincaid.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's Mark Andrews. He's washed up anyways. He really cares. He'll drop every pass for you anyways.
The Commanders.
They got Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is always hurt, and he's old as hell. I will get my mock draft next week. Of course, the NFL draft next Thursday, so that will come, a day before the draft. I can't wait to
be completely wrong on everything.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at a mock draft this year, so it's gonna be very interesting. Moving on to the NBA. The Pelicans hired Joe Dumars, former Pistons star and champion Joe Dumars, as their new president of basketball operations after they fired David Griffin. The ownership then told him that main goal in the offseason is to trade Zion Williamson. So they're probably also going to be getting a new coach. I just saw a thing where Willie Green lost the locker room because he, actually held the team accountable. Since, they had multiple 40-point losses this year, and he called them soft, and apparently they didn't like that, which basically proves his point.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking for a new head coach, too. But where do you want to see Zion go?
I mean, it's going to be a good 20 games for you, so,
I think, first off, I think this is a terrible move. Because Zion showed this year that he's going to take care of his body. He's dropped a ton of weight. At the end of the year, he was actually healthy. They just kept him out of games because they were terrible. And this is the worst time you can trade him because this is basically where he's at the low point of his value.
Yeah.
Because, he's coming off a season where he played 20-some-odd games. Of course, missed the first 3 months of the season due to a hamstring injury. But this is a terrible idea for the Pelicans. But where do you want to see him go? I know where I want to see him go. Want me to get mine?
Sure.
I want to see him go to the San Antonio Spurs. Him and Wemby in the front court would be unstoppable. And you don't have to give too much up to get him. Another place would be the Charlotte Hornets.
Ew. I'd say Timberwolves. They need a power forward. Power forward center.
They can't afford him.
I don't really care. I don't care about Zion anymore because he will give you about 20 games. That's about it. It's going to be the same way wherever he goes.
The Suns fired Mike Budenholzer. James Jones' contract is up. He's their GM, former player, former champion, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't plan on. I haven't seen anything that said that they plan on, actually extending him. Which, why would you? Although he was he built, the team that made it to the finals against the Bucks before, Matt Ishbia took over and decided to spend a lot of money on something that didn't work. So they will have to hire a new head coach and a GM, plus try to trade Beal. They will trade Kevin Durant. Although, former player Chandler Parsons came out this week and said that, Durant and Budenholzer didn't get along. Do you think Durant could stay?
No.
I don't either.
Much...
Him and the franchise, he's been going after Suns fans on X, so that he's done. Because when KD, he's not making the burner anymore. He's just using his normal account. Whenever he starts going after fans, it's over.
Yeah. I'm pushing it's been like 2 years now.
Yeah. Nico Harrison spoke to the media for the first time since the Luka Doncic trade. He still said that there are no regrets in trading Luka, and he repeated that, defense wins championships, and that's why he did it.
You didn't get no defense back in that trade.
Yeah, Anthony Davis for like the 5 games that he's on the floor. This is going to go down as one of the worst trades of all time. Just because, look at how the Lakers are now. They're the 3rd seed in the West, and look at where the Mavericks are.
Not even in.
They're the 10th seed. Probably going to lose to the Kings tonight in the play. I don't get doubling down. Like, you don't want to admit that you're wrong. Yeah. But eventually you're going to have to admit that you're wrong. He told the defense wins championships things to Tim McMahon from ESPN. McMahon also came out and said that Dirk is very disappointed with the franchise and that he was going to have more tomorrow, probably after the Mavericks lose tonight. So maybe interesting to see, if Dirk just says, screw the Mavericks, because if that's the case, the only good player in your franchise history outside of Luka, and all the people that were solid in like the 70s and 80s but didn't win jack crap.
Yeah.
So not a good look for the Mavericks right now. The Magic took down the Hawks to clinch the 7th seed in the play-in game last night. They will play the Celtics in the first round. The Hawks will face either the Bulls or the Heat for the A seed. The Heat are right now destroying the Bulls at halftime. So more than likely, the Heat. I need the Heat to beat the Hawks, because if the Hawks lose, the Spurs will still have 2 lottery picks. If they win, we won't. We have 1. Warriors escape the Grizzlies for the 7th seed in the West. They will play the Rockets in the first round. The Grizzlies will face either the Mavericks or the Kings for the 8th seed. Of course, that playing game is later tonight, and you already know what happens. So with the NBA regular season over, and awards being the main target right now, after multiple people have put out what they who they voted for, including Kendrick Perkins, who faced a ton of backlash, but when doesn't he?
Dude's horrible.
Yeah, terrible player. It's hard to be a worse player than he is, like being a head analyst, yeah. But somehow he's done it. So award predictions: MVP, Shea or Jokic?
I think it should be Jokic, but he won't win it. It'll be Shea.
I agree with that. I think it should be Jokic. Had
probably the best season of all time. One of the best.
A historic. He averaged a triple-double, became the 2nd player in NBA history, the 3rd player in NBA history to do so, outside of Russell Westbrook, who did it like 4 times.
Yeah. And
then Oscar Robertson. He also became the 1st player in NBA history to be top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals per game in a season. You're never going to see a season like this again unless he does it again. He should win it, but it'll be Shea. And if anybody wants clarity for it, you know what voters are going to look at. Shea led the Thunder to the top seed in the West. Jokic's coach got fired.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year. This is an easy one for me. This is an easy one for basically everybody outside of Tim Bontemps from ESPN. Stephon Castle, Zachary Reese-Shea, or Alexander Sorg?
Stephon Castle.
It's Castle. Castle should have been unanimous.
Yeah.
But Bontemps voted for Reese-Shea. 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, Malik Beasley. You can also throw in somebody else.
I want to go Malik Beasley just because he was a big part of the Pistons getting into the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
I'm going to go with Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard would be a star point guard on any other team. But the fact that he's going to be a star point guard on the Celtics next year because Jrue Holiday's not going to be there. I will guarantee that. Defensive player of the year, Evan Mobley is the favorite. Of course, Draymond was the favorite last week. Dyson Daniels also there.
Go Mobley.
To be honest, I would take Dyson Daniels. Led the league in steals, led the league in tip balls. But it's going to be Mobley. Draymond also has a solid case. Also helps that he promoted himself.
Yeah.
Most improved player, Cade, Dyson, or Ivica Zubac?
It's gonna be Cade, but should Cade win it? Probably not. It's gonna be. I think it should be Dyson Daniels though.
I believe it should be Dyson as well. Zubac also.
You've improved a lot.
He was great,
but
he's also in the
league
defense.
for like 6-7
He's
years.
also in the defense player of the year race as well. It will be Cade. It shouldn't be Cade. I agree wholeheartedly with it. With what JJ Redick said a few weeks ago, that if it's going to be the award that honors former top picks actually playing like they should, it shouldn't even be an award, because it should be Dyson Daniels. Nobody besides me, I expect Dyson Daniels to have a really good year. New team. Nobody expects Dyson Daniels to come out and play like he has with the Hawks, but you kind of expected Cade to do something. You're hoping Cade would do something, and he finally did it. Still shouldn't have been most improved player. Coach of the year, J.B. Bickerstaff, coach of the Pistons. You have Ime Udoka, coach of the Rockets. You could also throw in Kenny Atkinson, coach of the Cavs.
I'm going to go J.B. Bickerstaff just because the Pistons, no one thought the Pistons would make it again. Everyone knew the Rockets probably would. Pistons, J.B. Bickerstaff.
I'm also going with JV. The Pistons, they went from being the worst team in the NBA over the last 2 seasons to being a top 6 seed in the East.
Yeah.
They added Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Ron Holland in the offseason, and Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
But other than that, Bickerstaff was a perfect person to come in and turn this franchise around. And they have.
Yeah.
And as you'll see later on, they're going to put the Knicks on upset alert. Clutch player of the year is Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So now we're going to go on to our playoff predictions. Of course, the play-in is not done, but who cares? The most important game of the play-in is done because the 7 seeds.
Yeah.
The 8 seeds don't really matter. So we're going to go, first off, Western Conference. I will let you, we'll just go game to game. Thunder and whoever they play.
Thunder.
Yeah, so, probably in a sweep.
Yeah.
Nuggets and Clippers, one of the more enticing matchups of the first round.
Nuggets. I'm
going with the Clippers. Clippers enter the playoffs as arguably the hottest team in the league. The Nuggets have been struggling. They did in the regular season with 3 straight wins. But Kawhi's healthy. James Harden's playing great. Norman Powell's playing great. Zubac's playing great. A lot better than the core around Denver, which is basically Jokic right now. Although Jamal Murray always seems to have playoff games. Yeah. But I'm going with the Clippers. Lakers, Timberwolves.
I want Timberwolves.
I'm going with the Lakers.
They're too inconsistent for me.
So the Timberwolves aren't?
We know how Anthony Edwards performs in big spots, though.
You shut him down, who's score him?
Jaden McDaniels.
You could have picked literally 5 other guys on that team over Jaden McDaniels to just say that name. I would have chose Rudy Gobert over him. Rudy Gobert may actually have a really good series because God knows Jackson Hayes can't defend a fly. Rockets, Warriors.
Rockets.
I'm going with the Warriors. Rockets are too young. They're going to be like the Thunder from last year. You have Thunder, Nuggets. Who wins?
Thunder.
I have Thunder, Clippers. I got the Thunder. Timberwolves, Rockets for you. You picked the Rockets.
Yeah, Rockets. I
have the Warriors beating the Lakers. Who do you have? Representing the Western Conference.
Thunder.
I also have Thunder. On the Eastern side, we both picked the Cavs because
easy money.
If you've watched the playing games for the Eastern Conference, my God, this is going to be a sweep. They should just make this a 1-game series because that's what it's going to turn out to be. Next one, the ongoing rivalry between the Pacers and the Bucks.
Pacers.
I also want the Pacers. I would have picked the Bucks if Damian Lillard was healthy, but he will not be playing to begin the series, and without him, it's just Giannis. And Giannis can't, he can do everything, but he's not going to be able to do everything to carry the Bucks past the Pacers. They desperately need Kyle Kuzma to step up, but that's not going to happen. Knicks and Pistons. I also picked the Pistons. I think the Pistons are the better team, to be honest. The Knicks are very disappointing. I know they finished third in the East, but I kind of expected more out of them. With, adding
to push the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, they almost fell to 4 with the Pacers late season surge. But I expected the Knicks to be a lot better. I know Brunson was hurt at the end of the year. He missed almost a month. But outside of Towns and Josh Hart, I'm not going to leave out. Josh Hart was probably the second. He's arguably better than Towns was this season. But Mikal Bridges had a terrible first season in New York. I will say that right now. And OG's just so inconsistent. And I think the Pistons are the better team. Celtics. Yeah. Who do you have? Cavs, Pacers.
Pacers.
I also have the Pacers winning. Pistons, Celtics. I also have the Celtics. Who do you have representing the East? I also have the Celtics. This is where we're going to change because you have
Celtics
winning the championship. Who wins Finals MVP?
Jason Tatum gets it done finally.
I'm picking the Thunder, and of course, Shea is going to win both MVP and Finals MVP. Will this be right? No. Moving on to baseball, the Cubs optioned top prospect Matt Shaw to AAA. It's about time.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Struggling is an understatement. Spencer Strider returned from elbow surgery today against the Blue Jays. He went 5 innings, 2 runs, and 5 strikeouts. This is much needed for a Braves team that is struggling.
Yeah.
The Twins get another injury. Carlos Correa set to have an MRI on his left wrist.
It's not shocking anymore with the Twins.
No, it's not. And the Reds have won 4 straight games. That's going to change today, I'm pretty sure. Because they were losing to the Mariners, so the longest win streak. And, they're down 5-2. Hunter Green's been the best pitcher in baseball, though. And it's not even close. Until his arm flies off. You happy with the Reds' little win streak?
Yeah.
Right behind the Cubs for the division lead.
Yeah. Push them to win.
Oh my God, they need to play Noelvi.
They didn't play Noelvi Monte. From a DH.
If he could pitch.
Yeah.
They could use him.
Yeah.
Especially out of that crappy bullpen.
Yeah, we have a bad bullpen.
You don't even have a closer.
No.
Do you have any more baseball? It's not a lot happening in baseball right now. Vlad hit his first home run since, signing the extension. His first home run since last season.
Yeah.
Broke like a 26-game home run drought.
Yeah.
Then he hit another one today. Off Spencer Strider.
Yeah. Strider's back. That's actually a big deal. He's so fun to watch pitch. Hopefully he stays healthy. He's already having injury problems. This is his second time on the IL for multiple months, if not longer.
I mean, this was after he had Tommy John.
Yeah, but they also got before that too.
Yeah.
Just don't be like another Jacob deGrom.
Especially this year, because deGrom it's been bad.
Yeah.
Moving on to other sports, Rory McIlroy defeats Justin Rose in a playoff to win his first Masters.
Almost blew it again.
He now secures the career Grand Slam. It only took him 11 years to do so.
It's still impressive to do that.
Oh, it is. I mean, he's sixth
6
player ever to do it. Congrats to Rory. I picked him to win. I honestly thought he was going to blow it. I would have liked to see Justin Rose win as well. Just think that Justin Rose, he was in the playoff the last time the Masters had a playoff and lost. He's lost 2 times.
Has he never won a Masters?
No. The RBC Heritage and the Corrales Punta Cana Championship is this weekend.
What a name.
Kyle Larson wins at Bristol. He was a truck race away from completing the sweep. Of course, he finished second in the truck race. NASCAR is off this weekend for Easter weekend. But there will be a truck race at Rockingham on Friday night. We're going back
And
to
Xfinity.
The Rock. Is there Xfinity?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there's not Xfinity.
Oh, I saw it on NXT when I was watching last night.
I'm pretty sure there's just
I'm
truck.
pretty sure it's
No.
Xfinity because 11 plays just Xfinity.
Thanks. Oh, it is. So there is one Saturday. Why? That makes.
The Masters raced the Cup Series too.
Um,
I mean, hell, WrestleMania's on Easter Sunday, so why can't they just freaking race? It's stupid. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna watch WrestleMania no matter what.
the
so.
Cup Series will return next week at Talladega.
Yeah.
Kyle Kirkwood won the Grand Prix of Long Beach. IndyCar is now off until May 4th. Or they will be in Alabama. Then they will go to Indianapolis for the road course. Then it will be the Indy 500. Oscar Piastri wins the Bahrain Grand Prix over George Russell. Max finished 6th.
Wow.
The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is this weekend. Who wins?
Oh, George Russell. Mercedes has got something cooking. They've been running pretty decently the past couple of weeks. I think George Russell can get it done. I could pick Kimi too. Kimi's been amazing.
I'm going to go with
Lando.
Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri might be going to win the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a battle between him and Lando.
Yeah. Did I pick Oscar Piastri to win the championship?
I don't. You probably picked Max.
I don't know. You picked Lando.
I did pick Lando.
And I know what Kale. I mean, it's a 3-team race. That's all it is.
Nico Yamaliava is leaving Tennessee. I hope I did not botch that. He's leaving Tennessee after an NIL dispute. He announced today that he is transferring to UCLA. What a downgrade.
Yeah.
He wanted over $4 million of NIL money.
Is he good? I don't know.
He's good. Hopefully Tennessee too.
Oh.
The college football playoff last year, he's going to be one of the first quarterbacks selected in next year's draft. Possibly the first if Arch ends up going back, because Arch did say that he may spend more years in college. Of course, we'll be talking about Arch in the next episode, because he had some massive news with Panini today.
Did he?
Yes, he did. For the WNBA, Paige Beckers was selected first overall in the draft by the Dallas Wings. Everybody knew this was going to happen.
After that, I don't know anybody.
I'm intrigued with the second overall pick. I don't remember what her name is. She went to the Storm. Tony Parker called her, she's also from France. Tony Parker called her the Wembanyama of women's players. There was a workout video before, and she was just dunking. So, afterwards, one of the Los Angeles Sparks players went on X and said, hopefully I'm not the first WNBA player to get dunked on in a game.
She tall or something?
She's 6'6". That's all I have. You have anything else? No. I'm going to keep it short. Enjoy NBA. First off, playoffs begin. So the plan is tonight, and then Friday night will be the final two to get the 8th seed. Saturday and Sunday begins the first round of the playoffs, and the first round will go until the first week of March. If they go to 7 games, which there's going to be a couple that go to 7 games. I'm going to go out on and say that. Enjoy baseball. Enjoy WWE.
WrestleMania. If you're going to watch. I know I will.
I know I will not.
I will be.
I will be watching the playoffs. Enjoy nothing else. So enjoy NFL draft coverage, because
that's all it's on. It's so annoying.
Oh, it is.
They really say the same crap every freaking time. It's like, I don't care.
They do. That's why I give the luxury to you guys that I only do one mock draft. There's no reason that these guys need to be making a new mock draft every week. There's not that much that changes.
Yeah. Oh, he took a dump. He's gonna drop in the draft.
Like I get from the beginning, like the end of the college football season.
Yeah. To now. to like 2
Two-
weeks before.
Yeah. Because you're going to have stuff that changes with, pro
Workouts,
days,
yeah.
workout, like the private workouts, but not much is going to change now. I mean, there's still some guys having private workouts, but if you don't know who you're really like the Giants had Jalen Milroe, Shadur Sanders, and the Louisville quarterback, whatever the hell his name is, don't remember what his name is. They had them in the other day. It's like, if you don't know which one by now that you want to take, and for one that you're not going to be able to take because you have the 3rd overall pick, and none of them deserve to go 3rd overall, then there's just a problem with your franchise, which, I mean, the Giants, there is a problem with the franchise. Yeah. So be prepared for my mock draft next week.
Yeah.
I know I will be getting one pick right because Cam Ward is going 1st overall to the Titans. It's unless the Titans said they have to get a record-breaking trade to trade the pick.
I don't think that happens.
Not for Cam Ward.
No.
Now, next year, if it's Arch,
Yeah. Something will happen.
but not this year. So thank you guys for listening. Of course, have a happy Easter if you celebrate this weekend, and enjoy all the sports that are on. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.